Hello, this is Lori with Rock & Co Crafts. I want to thank you for joining me. In today's video, I actually want to pour a mold that I received for Christmas. I mean, the mold looks like a really pretty mold, and if it turns out right, it would be amazing. However, this mold really does intimidate me. And the one I'm talking about is, let me put it up this way so you can see it. It's a horse scenery inside of a horse. And what intimidates me about it is it's just a little thin layer that would be one pour. And then, of course, you would back it with something else. And I think what I'm going to try to do, and this is just so intimidating for me because when I look at it, it looks like if I pour slowly, which I'm not very good at, that it'll all flow except for in just a couple of spots. It looks like this bird right here, and then by the eyes, I may have to go in and just put just a tad bit in there. But this mold does intimidate me. I just feel like if I get over my insecurities with it and give it a try, if it turns out, it'd be beautiful. What I want to do is I want to mix some of the Let's Resin epoxy resin pigment paste. I want to mix some of that to do just the little fine layers in here. And then after that cures long enough, I'm going to just mix some of the white mica powder and back it like that. I'm just concerned about how thin this is. So hopefully I can get this poured correctly. I'm going to go ahead and I measured the whole thing, and it holds like 200 milliliters of water. So it's going to be a little bit more than that in resin. But there's really no way to measure how much of the black that I want to pour in here. So I've been tossing and turning. I think I'm going to go ahead and mix up 40 milliliters because I'd rather have too much than not enough, and try to do the black ever so carefully. And then the rest will be in the white. So I'm going to go ahead and get the resin mixed up, and I will see you shortly. I mixed up 40 milliliters of resin. Let me go ahead and I'm going to use this cup instead of my disposable one that I usually reuse, because I use that to mix some iridescent flakes in, and I don't want to get any in here accidentally. Let me just put, this is just the black Let's Resin epoxy paste. I'm just going to put 2 little drops. There's 1 and 2, and we'll see if that's going to be dark enough. I really like this stuff. I'm surprised at just how often I use it. But I use the black epoxy paste real often. And I will put a link to some of the products that I use in the description box below. Let me get this mixed in real well and see. I want to give it a test just to make sure that it's dark enough. If not, I'll add some more paste. Let me clean my stick off, and I'm just gonna, oh, I got a fuzz on my stick. I'm gonna dip it in and give it a peek. I think that that's dark enough. So let me put this lid on. Make sure it's tight. And oh, let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is I have this little cup. I like to use this little tiny cup because I just feel like I have a little more control. So let me just put a little bit in there. And I'm going to want my stick, maybe even something smaller like a popsicle stick. I am just so intimidated by this. And just looking at it, it looks like there's a bigger, wider open spot. So I'm going to try to start there and see how well it spreads. And try really hard not to get it on the parts that I don't want it on. And my youngest son and his wife gave me this and 3 other molds for Christmas, as well as some mica powder. And I think I did a short on that. So I'll see if I can't find that and post that link in the description box below. But I've been dragging my feet on this one, as well as he one of the molds was the chess set, and I haven't done that one yet either. Oh boy. I just don't want to get too heavy-handed with this, so this may take a little while. And I just want it to spread naturally and not where I don't want it. Oh, I don't know, y'all. It's not, maybe it's my lack of patience. It doesn't seem like it's spreading out as quickly as I would like. Maybe I work in a different spot. Let me fill my little cup up again. Because I really want this stuff to just spread easily for me. And I'm trying to be light-handed and not heavy-handed. Hmm, hmm, hmm. I'm getting my hand in my way. Not too sure about this. Maybe it's spreading. Maybe if I help it with the tool. I don't know. Let's get this tool in here and see if we can't get it to spread a little bit without making a big mess. Yeah, I don't even know where to go with this even. Excuse me. I don't know, y'all. Maybe I'm just being impatient. Excuse me again. All right, let's see here. Where should I go? I just want to be so careful. And I don't want to pour it where it's not supposed to be. I mean, if I get a little bit on there, I could get it off. But I don't want it an over pour, a big, huge over pour. Maybe I should use the big cup. I don't know. I don't know how much control I would have over the big cup. I may try it though. I may regret this. Let me set that big stick down. Ugh. See if I can go light, light, light. That's why I mixed it in this cup, because it does bend well. And this is not spreading as well as I expected it to, or I'd hoped for it to. This is certainly a challenge. I don't know which side to use, maybe this side. See if I can't get it to spread in these cracks. Yeah, I got a little some going over there, but hopefully it'll fall into the cracks. This video may take forever, y'all. I may have to speed it up a little bit just to not make the video too long. And it's really difficult to see down in here. I have all of these in here still that I want to try to get that stuff to spread. So I can pour just a little bit in there. Yeah, this isn't going as well as I'd hoped. It's really hard to see. I'm just trying to drop a little bit at a time so that maybe it'll spread where it needs to spread. But I don't want to take too long because I don't want my resin to start curing on me either. Stop there for a second. Let's see if I can get a little bit down here. Whoa, 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 whoa. And yeah, this is not spreading very well. I got way too much in that. All right, y'all, I'm getting ready to make a mess now. I need for that to spread in those cracks, and then I'll try to clean up my mess. I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit first, though. See if I can't get this spread around. And that may be what I have to do, is make a mess and then clean it up. Because this stuff sure isn't spreading well. And I think I put that where it doesn't belong. Mm-mm-mm. This is going to take a minute, so I will speed it up for you. As you can see, I ran out of patience. I just ran out of patience with this thing. So either this extra little things will make a spotted horse and it'll add character, or it'll be one hot mess. But my patience just ran too thin on this one. Nothing easy about it for me. I don't know if you've ever poured a mold somewhat like this. If so, and you have suggestions or advice, by all means, please put that in the comment section below. And I'm going to let this cure for a few hours, and then I will come back in and pour the white. And it's pretty obvious that there's going to be some spotting on it. I may toy around with it a little bit, continue to fiddle with it until it gets so cured that I can't. But I will see you when we're ready to do the next pour. See you shortly. So I've actually let it set overnight. I had to walk away for a little bit, and that's the best thing to do when you get frustrated, is just walk away. I think if I pour this again in the future, that I will actually either come in with some acrylic paint and paint that, or just like brush it with like Galaxy Mica or something like that and pour the whole thing. Because this definitely tested my patience, and I lost patience with it. Anyhow, it is time. I've got 200 milliliters of resin mixed up. I'm going to just put a little bit of that white mica in there, give it a stir, and see if this is enough to dome it. Because when I measured it with water, it took 200 milliliters, and that doesn't include the little bit of black that I've got in here. So I'm hoping this will be enough, or at least close enough. Let me go ahead and get that stirred in real well. I mean, I hope it turns out okay. I know that it's going to have some funky little speckles in it because of the way I did it. But yeah, my resin was starting to get hard and or starting to get thick. And it's like, okay, just pour it on and scrape it off and hope for the best. But yeah, maybe if I do go in with like some acrylic paint, take my time and paint the background, like, instead of trying to make resin flow in there, because it did not flow well in this particular mold. That is so pretty. I'm gonna let it set for a second and let any dry bubbles come up, any dry mica pop up, and then give it another stir, and we'll see about getting this pour done. Yeah, I don't know if you can see those little dots of mica, dried mica. So let's go ahead and give it another stir. I prefer not to have any dried mica dots popping up in the piece. And because I have let it set overnight, I should be able to take my tool into these little nooks and crannies. Even though some of them, like up here, the dark is up in there and it shouldn't be. But that is what it is. All right, let's see if we can go ahead and get this poured. I'm going to stop there because I don't know this mold. I've never poured it before. I'm going to let that spread before I add any more. And yeah, it looks like there's plenty of room. Let me add some more. Help it into this little nook. All right, let's go ahead and add a little more. I apologize for getting my hand in your way. And let me check that. There's still a little left in the cup, but I don't want an overpour. And it looks like it has a little bit more room, so let me go ahead and add some more. See what we've got. I don't want an overflow at this point. And while I'm let that sit for a second and see if I can go around these edges. Really don't want bubble pits. Because even if the piece is not perfect, bubble pits just mess it all up. And there's a lot of little spots in here to have to worry about bubble pits. Oh, I don't want to make a mess. I probably should have done this before I poured the extra. I'm just trying to get every one of those little nooks and crannies. And then I'm going to check and see if there's room for any more. Hard to tell with the white on white. I'm going to do a little bit more. And then I think there's only a little bit left, but I don't think it's going to hold it. Spray it with some alcohol for the bubbles. All right, well, y'all, I'm going to let this set for 24 hours, and we'll just see what we end up with. I don't have high hopes for it, but hopefully, at the very least, it'll look okay. And already learning some lessons. And that's what it's all about, right? Learn from your mistakes. All right, well, I will see you in 24 hours when we're ready to do the unmolding. Okay, see you. It is time for the unmolding. And a couple of things on this one. I mean, I'm still hoping that it looks good. It's not going to be perfect, and I know that, but I still want it to look well. Um, as I said earlier, maybe next time go in with some acrylic paint. But after giving it a great deal of thought, when I did the video, when I was doing the butterflies with the chameleon flakes, a couple of the viewers mentioned using like a needle nose bottle to do the little fine lines in the butterfly wings, and I do have them. Maybe I should have used, and I mean I purchased these after it was recommended by the viewers because I had no idea what they were called. And I do have them. Maybe I should have tried to go in there with that. I've never used them. I probably should. I bought them to use them, so I probably should. If anybody has any recommendations as to how to clean them afterwards, I'd appreciate that. That's probably one of the reasons I haven't used them yet, is because I'm not too sure how to clean them. But I did purchase some of these, and I want to thank the viewers that recommended them. But maybe I should have used it on this. I don't know if it would work in the big areas. I think they would work in the small. Let's go ahead and get this unmolded. And I am hoping for good results. I know it's not going to be perfect. And maybe I'll try it again in the future. I just don't know at this point. I'll definitely need to take a break from it first. Because this one really did test my patience. And as you could tell by watching, I ran out of patience with it. So let's just see how it's going to look. I mean, the back's pretty, but that's not what we're going for. We're going for the front. Well, here we go, y'all. Well, that's not too bad. I'm surprised. I mean, I do see a few little dots there. But y'all, that turned out pretty good. Much better than I had expected. And just looking here, I'm just trying to look at the edges to see. I have a Humpty Do or two to clean off, but I'm kind of looking for bubble pits. It looks like I may, well, no, that's not even bubble pits there. That's kind of where the dark is. Right offhand, I don't see a bunch of bubble pits. And y'all, this turned out a whole lot better than I had expected. Yeah, there's some dotting, but it doesn't look real bad. Let me know what you think of the final results in the comments below. Also, I want to thank you for watching and ask you to please consider hitting the like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe buttons. And let me know, should I try it again using the needle nose bottles? Do you think that that would work? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks.